Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss a topic, microwave components. So before going to the microwave components, we should know about what are microwave junctions and scattering parameters. At a certain position in a waveguide system, many a times it becomes necessary to split all or a part of microwave power into a particular direction. This is achieved by waveguides or in general microwave junction. So here in this figure at the center we are saying this is microwave junction and it is having four ports. Port number 1, port number 2, port 3 and port number 4, and at each port we have connected microwave source. This is one microwave source, another, third and fourth microwave source. Now this junction has four ports similar to low frequency 2-port network as shown in the figure. The microwave junction is analogous to a traffic junction where a number of roads meet on which vehicles enter and leave the traffic junction. In a similar manner, when input from microwave source is applied at port number 1, a part of it comes out of port number 2, another part out of port number 3 and some part from port number 4, and the remaining part may come out of port number 1 itself due to mismatch between port number 1 and microwave junction. So this is how we can define a microwave junction. Power, if I say power is entering from microwave port number 1, it may leave from port number 2, 3 or 4, or maybe due to mismatch from 1 itself. Or if I say source is connected at port number 2, power may come out from port number 3, 4, 1 and 2 itself. So if I am having 4 sources and I am having 4-port network or 4-ports are there in this microwave junction, then the possible combinations of all the input and output will be 4 multiplied by 4. Now here this arrow is showing you कि power may come from microwave junction to microwave source, or from this arrowhead is showing microwave power may go from source to the microwave junction. Now another topic is the scattering parameters or the S parameters. As we know, for low frequency circuit, 2-port network and their parameters, we have already studied Z parameters, Y parameters, H parameters, ABCD parameters. Those parameters are for the low frequency circuits, and when we have studied in our earlier classes Z parameter or Y parameter or H parameters, those parameters relate total voltage and total current. But when we deal with microwave energy, microwave frequencies, traveling wave with associated power instead of voltage and current and microwave generators can be defined by S parameters. So here, because we are dealing with microwave frequencies, so instead of XYZ parameters, the parameters will be termed as S parameters or the scattering parameters. Now if we refer to this figure number 1, this figure, we see if we apply input to all the ports, we will have 16 combination which are represented in a matrix form, and that matrix is termed as scattering matrix. So coming back to this figure, if I see, if input is here, then possible output will be at junction 2, 3, 4 and 1. So corresponding to this one port there are 4 possible outputs. Again for port number 2, 1, 2, 3 and 4, port number 3, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So in total there are 16 possible combination which are possible. Now the square matrix give all the combination of power relationships between various input and output port of a microwave junction. So from this we can see what are the possible outputs corresponding to each and every possible input. So because this is 4 by 4 ports, so possible combination will be 4 by 4. It will always be a square matrix. If it will be a 3 junction, then possible ports will be, if there are 3 ports, then possible combination will be 3 by 3 means 9, but always it remains a square matrix. For 4 port it is 4 by 4 matrix, for 5 port it will be 5 by 5 matrix, and for 6 ports it will be a 6 by 6 matrix. And the elements are called scattering coefficient or scattering parameters, or simply we say S parameters. Now what are S parameters? Now here we have seen the 16 possible combination of input and output were there. They were termed as S parameters. Now same we can study with the help of this figure number 2. Now here we are seeing, we are having so we see, so as we see in figure number 2, this figure, to obtain the relationship between scattering matrix and input output powers at different ports, consider a junction of n first, second, third up to n number of transmission lines, wherein the ith port, this is the ith port, we have connected a source. This is the source. Now here this A1 is the incident power and this Bi is the reflected power which is coming towards source which is connected at ith port, and this is the incident power that is coming out of this source towards these different terminals. Now case number 1, let us assume that first line is terminated, this first line is terminated in an impedance other than the characteristic impedance, that is ZL is not equal to Z0, and all the remaining lines, second, third up to nth, they are connected in an impedance equal to Z0. So in the first case we are assuming ZL is not equal to Z0, characteristic impedance is not equal to the load impedance, and for other ZL is equals to Z0. Then in this case, this is the case number 1, when first line is terminated other than characteristic impedance, that is ZL is not equal to Z0, and all remaining lines except first are connected at Z0, means ZL equals to Z0. Here AI is incident wave at which ith line, then it divide itself among n minus 1 number of lines as A1, A2, A3 up to AN. no reflection from second to nth line due to impedance matching, but there is a mismatch at first line, so there will be a reflected wave B1 going back into the junction. So because we have connected all the lines at an impedance which is equal to ZL, so there will be no reflection from these lines. But because only the first line is connected at an impedance which is not equal to Z0, that is why there are some reflections coming from first line. This Bi is the reflection which is coming from this first line. This B2, B3, B4, Bn, they all will be 0 because of matched impedance. So in this case we see what is Bi. Bi is all the summation of all the reflected waves. So corresponding to Ai input, what is our Bi for the first case? So here Bi will be Si1 into A1, because B2, B3, B up to Bn all are 0, because they are the outputs which are coming from a load which is terminated at matched state. ZL is equals to Z0. So Bi will be Si1. I here says the terminal at a line at which we have connected the source, and I the terminal where we are getting the output. So Si1 is reflection coefficient of first line, where 1 reflection from first line, and I where the source is connected, and A1 is the corresponding input. Now take the case number 2. In the same diagram, if we assume instead of first, all other lines, line number 2, line number 3, line number 4, all the lines are connected at a load which is not equal to ZL, means ZL is not equal to Z0 in all the lines, then in that case what will happen? Now because each and every line is under mismatch state, so there will be reflection from line number 1 also, line number 2 also, line number 3 also. Each and every line is having corresponding reflection. So this is case number 2. Now what is Bi? Total output we obtained at ith port, provided this is the case. Let all n-1 lines be terminated or impedance other than Z0, that is ZL is not equal to Z0. Then total contribution to outward traveling wave in ith line is given by Bi. Now Bi is we can see Si1 into A1 plus Si2 into A2 plus Si3 into A3 plus so on up to the last line, that is Sin into An. Now here Si1, Si stands for the line where we have connected the input, and 1 from where we are getting the reflection, and A1 was corresponding input to line number 1. Similarly for line number 2, now the source is connected to the same ith line, but output is coming from line number 2 corresponding to A2 input. Similarly Si3, Sin. Here I equals to I to n, since I can be any line from 1 to n. Now initially in this case what we have done, we have connected load on ith line. In general I can be any value from 1 to n, means we can connect load in any line. It may be first line, it may be second line, it may be the last line. So if we consider this situation, that we have the option to connect our source to any of the line. So in that particular case, if we consider each and every combination, then corresponding output for first line will be the S11 into A1 plus S12 into A2 plus S13 into A3 plus S1n into A2. Now here we have considered that our source is connected at line number 1. That is why we are having S11 instead of I. Now because source is connected at terminal 1, we have replaced I by 1. So source is connected at first port, that is why S, this first one, and this second one because reflections are coming from line number 1. This is corresponding A2. Again this is SI, source is again connected to first port, first line, and SI to A2 like this. Similarly B2, here we are considering that our microwave source is connected at line number 2. That is why S2, S2 and S2, and this second number signify from where we are getting the reflection, and this A the corresponding input. So in general we can say Bn will be equals to Sn1A1 plus Sn2A2 plus Sn3A3 plus so on up to the last Snn into A1. Now this last equation, if we want to show this equation in matrix form, we can say this B1, B2, B3 up to Bn, all these equation can be think as a like this column matrix B1, B2 up to Bn. This is the output, and this matrix S11, S12, S13 and up to S1n. Similarly the second row S21, S22, S2n, and the last row Sn1, Sn2 up to the last element Snn. This matrix is scattering matrix of order n by n. N by n, here it will be always a square matrix, and the last column matrix is A1, A2, A3 and so on up to the last An. So these equation can be represented in a matrix form, which is shown by equation number 2. Here this is known as column matrix B corresponding to reflected wave. These are all the reflected waves, or simply we can say this is output. And this square matrix, this is scattering matrix of order n into n. This is very important. This is one of the property of our S matrix. This will always be a square matrix. And the last matrix is matrix A corresponding to incident wave. This was the incident signal, incident power, or we can simply say these are the inputs. So from this we can simply say the matrix B, the output matrix, will be equals to scattering matrix S multiplied by the input matrix A. So this is the general form of S matrix B equals to S into A. Now when a junction of n number of waveguides is considered, in this case A represents input to a particular port, B represents output at various port. Now here Sij correspond to scattering coefficient resulting due to input at ith port. Here this I represents the port where we have connected the source, and output taken at jth port. So Sij means scattering parameter, when I represents where we have connected the source and j where we have taken the output. Similarly Sii, what does it means? Here first I is representing that source is connected at this ith port, and second I is the power applied at ith port itself. So this is, suppose in this first example, first figure, this power, suppose we have connected power at this source and we are seeing the output at similar port, then this can be written as S of 1 1. This is the meaning of this S of II and S of Ij. Now next part is, what are the various properties of this S matrix. First property is, S matrix is always a square matrix of order n by n. As I have already told you, if we consider 3 ports in a junction, then the possible combination will be 3 by 3, means matrix will contain 9 elements, 3 row 3 column. Second property is symmetrical matrix, that is S of Ij equals to S of Ji, means if we have connected input at port number I and we want to know the output at port number J, this will be equal to S parameter when we have connected source as jth port and seeing the output corresponding to port number I, then this will be equal. Suppose I is 1 and J is 2, means when we assume input is connected at port number 1 and output we want to see at reflected wave from port number 2, then that will be S of 1 2, that will be equal to S of 2I. This is symmetrical property. Then unitary matrix, that means S, if S matrix is multiplied by S star, then that will be a identity matrix, unit matrix of same order as that of your S. Next property, now here we see summation I range from 1 to n, S of Ik equals to S of star Jk, this will be equal to 0 for the case when k is not equal to j, and where k is equals to 1 2 3 up to n, and also j equals to 1 2 3 up to n. This property states that the sum of products of each term of any row or the column multiplied by the complex conjugate of corresponding term of any other row or for the case column is 0. This is the meaning of this particular property, property number 4. Now from, if we have understood the concept of junction, S parameters, S matrix, and we have gain a knowledge about various properties of S matrix, then we can study each and every microwave component with the help of those S matrix and S parameter. Now first we will see H plane T junction. Now H plane T, because axis of side arm is parallel to planes of main transmission line. Suppose I say this is your H plane T, port number 1, port number 2, and this is port number 3, or we can say H port or HR. All these arms lie in same plane of magnetic field. Magnetic field divide itself into arms. Suppose I say I have connected source at port number 3 here. Now the power is going towards port number 2 and equal power to port number 1. Now this power division take place. Now at port number 1 and 2 we will see equal power and in same phase. So there will be a plane of symmetry here. These are two coplanar arms. So because we are having 3 ports, 1, 2 and 3 ports, so corresponding S matrix will contain n into n or 3 into 3 elements that are S11, S12, S13, S21, 22, 23, S31, 32, 33. So there will be 9 S component in the matrix of H plane T. Now one by one we are going to apply the various properties which we have studied earlier. Now if we apply plane of symmetry property, it means we are plane of symmetry because we are having a plane of symmetry. So for this H plane T, S13 equals to S23 means if we have connected a source at port number 1, then the amount of power going to port number 3, that will be S of 13, and if same source is connected at port number 2, then power going to port number 3, that is S of 23. Then in this particular case S of 13 will be equal to S of 23 because of plane of symmetry. So from here we get out of these 9 unknown parameters, we are having S13 will be equal to S of 23. Now second point, from the symmetrical property, as we have studied S of ij equals to S of gi, this was the symmetrical property of S matrix. Now if we apply this symmetrical property in this particular case H plane T, then from here we get S of 12 will be equal to S of 21, S of 23 will be equal to S of 32, and because S of 23 is also equal to S of 13, so we can say S of 32 will also be equal to S of 13, and S13 will be equal to S of 31. Now these are the outputs which we get when we apply the symmetrical property of square matrix, the S matrix. Now let us assume port number 3, this is the port number 3 or H port. If I assume this port is perfectly matched port, in that case because this is perfectly matched, so there will be no reflection coming if I have connected source at port number 3 and seeing the reflection at port number 3 itself, then S of 33 will be 0, which one can see from this equation. Because of match port, this S33 will be 0. So equation 4, by applying all these properties, property 1, 2, 3, now when we apply these values, the equation 4 becomes, this matrix becomes S11, S12, S13, S12, 22, 13, S13, S13, 0. This is 0 because we have third port is perfectly matched port. So now we see from here, from in this equation number 4 we are having 9 unknown S parameters, but in equation number 5 we see there are 1, 2, 3 and 4 unknown parameters. So it is easy to evaluate 4 unknown parameters instead of evaluating 9 different parameters. Now taking equation number 5th, we are applying the next property, that is next property of our S matrix, that is S of S star equals to I or unit matrix. So this is our equation number 5th. This is S star of equation number 5th. So this is equals to this unitary matrix, here diagonal matrix. Only the diagonal elements are unit 1. Now from this, multiplying this equation with this, we get R1 C1. This is R1 and this is C1. So if we take this R1 C1, then taking row number 1 and column number 1 of the second matrix, so this will give R1 C1 equals to S11 multiplied by S11 star, S12 multiplied by S12 star, S13 multiplied by S13 star. Similarly, and this will be equals to 1, because R1 C1 R1, this is R1 and this is C1, so this element is 1. Similarly, this can be further written as S11 square plus S12 square plus S13 square equals to 1, and this can be termed as equation number 6 here. Similarly, we can get R2 C2. This is R2 and this is C2. So S12 multiplied by S12 star, S22 multiplied by S22 star, and S13 multiplied by S13 star. So from this we get R2 C2 equals to S12 square plus S22 square plus S13 square equals to 1. This is R2 C2. So here in this equation, this is R2 and this is C2. So this will be the element 1. That is why this R2 C2 equals to 1. This is equation number 7. Similarly, we can take R3 C3 equals to, this is R3 and this is C3. If we multiply S13 into S13 star, S13 plus S13 into S13 star, this will be equals to, again this will be equals to 1, because this is R3 and this is C3, so this will be 1. So R3 C3 will be also, this will be also equals to 1. This is equation number 8. Now we take one another combination, that is R3 into C1. Now this is row number 3rd and this is column number 1st of second matrix. So if we take the multiplication of this R3 into C1, we will see S13 into S11 star plus S13 into S12 star equals to 0. This is equation number 9. Now from these equation we are going to find the value of unknown parameters, those 4 unknown parameters. So from equation number 8, this equation, we are seeing S of 13 square plus S of 13 square was equals to 1. Now if we simplify this, we obtain twice of S13 square equals to 1. From here we get S13 equals to 1 by root 2. So this is one scattering parameter S13 whose value is 1 by root 2. Let us assume this as equation number 10. Now if we compare equation 6 and 7, this is equation number 6 and this is equation number 7, we see only 2 elements are differing. That is, here S11 is different and here S22. So comparing these two, we can say S11 square equals to S22 square, or from here we get S11 will be equals to S22. Now if we take the next equation, that is from equation number 9, this equation, as we know the value of S13, equation number 9, this was equation number 9, and we know the value of S13 equals to 1 by root 2. So here S13, if we take S13 as common from this इक्वेशन नंबर 9, तो S13 square S13 bracket starts S star 11 plus S star 12. This will be the output if we take S13 common from equation number 9. Now since S13 is not 0, we have already calculated the value of S13 equals to 1 by root 2. So from this equation, if this term is not 0, it means the bracketed terms are 0. So here we get S11 star plus S12 star equals to 0, or if we simplify this, we will get S11 star will be equals to minus of S12 star, or S11 will be equals to minus of S12, or S12 will be equals to minus of S11. Now using these equation in equation number 6, this was equation number 6. So here we have the value of this, and from this equation 6 we get S11 square plus S11 square plus 1 by half, because we know S13 was equals to 1 by root 2. So this is equals to equation equals to 1, or we can say twice of this. Twice of S11 square will be half, or S11 will be 1 by 2. So if S11 is 1 by 2, then as we see here equation number 12 giving a relation between S11 and S12, and here S11 is equal to minus of S12. So if our S11 is half, then S12 will be minus of 1 by 2, and S22 will be equals to 1 by 2. So now we are having all unknown S parameters. That were 4 unknown parameters in this particular equation number 5. So if we put all these unknown parameters which we have calculated, then our equation number 5 becomes, S matrix becomes 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 0. This is our final S matrix equation for H plane T. Now as we have seen earlier that our output equation, that was B, output matrix B, that was equals to multiplication of scattering matrix S and the input matrix A. So here, because we are having a 3-port junction, that is H port, so corresponding we are having 3 elements in the output column matrix, that are B1, B2, B3. These are the output B1, B2, B3, and this is the S matrix we have calculated, and these are corresponding input column elements. So from this equation, from this matrix equation, we get B1, this B1 equals to half of A1, half into A1 minus half of A2 plus 1 by root 2 of A3. Similarly B2 will be minus of 1 by root 2, minus of 1 by 2 into A1, 1 by plus 1 by 2 into A2 plus 1 by root 2 into A3. Similarly the last output B3, this will be equal to 1 by root 2 of into multiply by A1 plus 1 by root 2 multiply by A2, and this will be 0. So from here we get 3 output equation number 17 for B1, equation 18 for B2, and equation 19 for B3. Now we can see the different cases. We can apply input to any of these ports, and from these equations 17, 18, 19 we are going to see what will be the corresponding output. So suppose in case 1 what we are assuming, A3 is not equal to 0, means we are assuming we have connected some source at A3 at port number 3, and that is acting as an input, and there are no input corresponding to port number 1 or port number 2. That is why A1 is 0 and A2 is 0. So by putting these values of A1, A2, A3, we get B1 equals to A3 by root 2, B2 equals to A3 by root 2, and B3 equals to 0. We are only putting the values of A1, A2 equals to 0 in these three equations, and we are putting A3 not equal to 0. We simply put A3 as A3 or any input A. So these are the corresponding output for case number 1. Now power 3 corresponding to port number 3, then this power divides equally between port number 1 and port 2 in phase, that is P1 will be equal to P2, but P3 equals to P1 plus P2, or twice of P1 equals to twice of P2. Now power coming out of port number 1 or port number 2 due to input at port number 3, we have considered there is input at port number 3 only. So this can be written as 10 log 10 P1 upon P3 equals to 10 log 10 P1 upon twice of P1, because P3 equals to twice of P1, equals to 10 log 10 into 1 by 2. From here we see this power is coming out to be minus 3 dB power. So power coming out of port number 1 and port number 2 is 3 dB down with respect to input power at port number 3. Hence the H plane T is called as 3 dB splitter. Means when TE10 mode is allowed to propagate, here TE10 mode is the dominant mode in case of rectangle waveguide. We will see this in next classes, why we are saying TE10 is the dominant mode. So when we have our dominant mode, TE10 mode is allowed to propagate into port number 3, the electric field lines do not change their direction when they come out of port number 1 and port number 2, hence called H plane T. Waves that come out of port number 1 and 2 are equal in magnitude and phase. So this was the case of H plane T when we are having input at port number 3 and no input corresponding to port number 1 and port number 2. Now we consider the second case, that is A1 equals to A2 equals to A. Means now we are having input at terminals 1 and 2, and though that input is equal, that is A, and A3 is 0. Now in this case we are not considering any input at port number 3, that is why A3 equals to 0. Now again, as we know, these are the equation number 17, 18, 19. So if we put this condition, we put A1 equals to A2 equals to A and A3 equals to 0 in equation 16, 17, 18. These are the equation 17, 18, 19. These are the equation. If we put these values in 17, 18, 19 equation, we will get B1 equals to 0, B2 equals to 0, and B3 will be A by root 2 plus A by root 2. That is, the result is output at port 3 is addition of two inputs at port 1 and port 2, and these are added in phase. So this is how we are studying H matrix with the help of S parameters, and also we see the various relation, input output relation, with the help of this S matrix and S parameters. Now let us go to another T, that is E-plane T. Now this is the structure of E-plane T. Here this is port number 1, this is port number 2, and we have cut from the broader side, and we have connected one another port, that is port number 3. Technically speaking, that is E port, and this is the relation. If I say these are the electric lines, if I consider this is the input at port number 3, then we'll see what will be the effect of on electrical lines. These are the lines. Now from here we see this is output corresponding to port 1, and this is the output corresponding to port number 2. Now if we see these two output corresponding to input at port number 3 in E-plane T, we see the output is equal 1 and 2, but they are opposite in phase. That we can see at port number 1 and 2. Now power out at port 3 is proportional to the difference between instantaneous power entering from 1 and 2. Effective values of the power leaving E arm is proportional to the phase difference between the powers entering port 1 and 2. When power entering the main arms, port 1 and 2 are in phase opposition, maximum energy comes out of port number 3. Means if we are having two inputs at port number 1 and 2, and if we consider those inputs are equal and also they are in opposite phase, in that case the output we get at port number 3 will be the addition. And if we are having input at port number 1 and port number 2, and they are equal in magnitude and equal in phase, then we will see the output at port number 3 will be 0. Now as we have calculated S matrix for H-plane T, in a similar manner we are going to calculate S matrix for E-plane T also. This is because E-plane T is also a square matrix, 3-port junction. That is why our general S matrix will be a square matrix, that is 3 by 3 element matrix, and this matrix can be written as like this. Now scattering coefficient S of 2 3 will be equals to S of minus of S13. Now it means S of 2 3, this is S of 2 3, this will be equals to minus of S of 1 3, because these here and here there is phase opposition. That is why we are saying S of 2 3 equals to minus of S of 1 3. Now let us consider this as equation number 20. Now port 3 is perfectly matched port. As we have considered in case of H-plane T, H port was perfectly matched. Here we are assuming our E port is perfectly matched junction. That is why here also we are assuming S33 will be 0, and this equation, this can be termed as equation number 21. Now applying another property, that is symmetrical property of S matrix, which states that S of ij will be equals to S of ji. From this property we get S of 1 2 equals to S of 2 1, S of 1 3 equals to S of 3 1, and S of 2 3 equals to S of 3 2. This is equation number 22. Now by putting the above properties of S matrix in general 3 by 3 matrix, we get S equals to S11, S of 1 2, S of 1 3, S of 2 1, S of 2 2, S of minus 1 3, S of 1 3, minus 1 3, and 0. This is equation number 23rd. Now we apply the next property, that is the unitary property, which states this, that S into S star equals to I, means S matrix and its complex conjugate matrix will give you the unitary matrix I. So this is our S matrix and this is our S star matrix. Now if we multiply these two, we will get another 3 by 3 matrix, that is unitary matrix, diagonal matrix, whose elements are whose diagonal elements are 1. So we will proceed just like we have did in case of H plane T. Here also we are going to calculate R1C1. Here R1C1 will be S11 square plus S12 square plus S13 square equals to 1. Here this is R1 and this is C1. So S11 into S1 star plus S12 into S12 star plus S13 into S13 star will be equals to 1. So we can write that as S11 square plus S12 square plus S13 square equals to 1. Similarly, I am writing directly R2C2 as S12 square plus S22 square plus S13 square equals to 1. That is equation number 25th. R3C3 as S11 square plus S13 square equals to 1. Equation number 26th. And R3C1 equals to S13. This is R3 and this is C1. So R3 S13 multiply by S11 star minus S13 multiply by S12 star equals to 0. So this is equation number 27th. Now equating equation number 24 and 25. This was equation number 24. This is equation number 25th. So by equating this, we get S11 equals to S22. This can be seen. Only two elements here, S11 square and here S22. They are equal. So S11 will be equals to S22. This is 28th equation. Now from equation number 26th, this was equation number 26th, we can say S11 square plus S13 square plus S13 square equals to 1, or twice of S13 square equals to 1, or S13 will be 1 by under root of 2. This is equation number 29th. And from equation 27, this was equation number 27th, we get S13 equals to S12 equals to S of 22. This is equation number 30. Now using equation 28 to 30 in 29, these are the equation 28, 29 and 30. From these equation we get S11 square plus S12 square plus 1 by 2 equals to 1, and from here we get this equation, and finally we get S11 equals to 1 by 2. This is equation number 31. Now putting values from equation 29 to 31 in S matrix, we get the final S matrix for the E plane T, and that S matrix will be like this. S equals to first element will be 1 by 2, then 1 by 2, third S13 will be 1 by root 2, then 1 by 2, 1 by 2 minus 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 and minus 1 by root 2 and 0. This is the final S matrix for the E plane T. Now we, from this S matrix of E plane T, we will calculate the output matrix for the E plane T. Output matrix will be B equals to S into A, S matrix and the input matrix A. Now this is because again here we are having 3 ports, so we are having a column matrix with 3 elements B1, B2, B3, which will equals to, this is the S matrix for E plane T, into the input matrix A1, A2, A3. From here, from equation number 33, we get B1 equation equals to half of a1 plus half of a2 plus a3 by root 2. This is 34th equation. b2 equals to a1 by 2 plus a2 by 2 minus a3 by root 2, and b3 as 1 by root 2 into a1 minus of a2 by root 2. Now again we will consider different cases for these three equations, these three output equation. So these are the three basic output equation of E plane T. And here if we consider the case 1, and the case 1 is we are considering a1 equals to a2 equals to 0, means we are having no input corresponding to port number 1 and port 2, but we are having some input at port number 3, that is a3 is not equal to 0. So from here, with the help of these three equation, and for this first case we get b1 equals to a3 by root 2, b2 equals to minus a3 by root 2, and b3 equals to 0. Now from this we see that input at port 3 equally divides between 1 and 2, but introduces a phase shift of 180 degree between two outputs. Hence E plane T also act as a 3 dB splitter. And if we consider the case 2, where we assume there are input at port number 1 and port number 2, and that input is A, and we are considering there is no input at port number 3, that is A3 is 0. From this, if we put this condition or case number 2 in equation 34, 35, 36, we will get the corresponding outputs b1 as a2 plus a by 2 plus a by 2, b2 we get a2 plus a by 2, b3 equals to a by root 2 minus a by root 2, that is b3 will be 0. That is equal input at 1 and 2 result in no output at port number 3. Now because inputs are equal and they are in same phase, that is why we get 0 output corresponding to port number 3. If we are having equal input but in phase opposition, then we will get the sum of two inputs at port number 3. Now consider the case number 3. Here we are assuming A1 is having some input, port number 1 is having some input, but there is no input corresponding to port number 2 and also no input corresponding to port number 3. Now if we put these condition in our output equation 34, 35 and 36, we will see b1 will be equals to a1 by 2, b2 will be equals to a1 by 2, and b3 will also be equals to minus a by root 2. Similarly, we can have all combination of input and outputs. So this is how the S matrix and S parameters are going to help in studying E plane T and H plane T. Now